So, update. It is nearly 6 hours later. The time you can see on the wall in the last video was the actual real time. I literally felt like I was going to have a heart attack because I had pain in my shoulder, down my arm, in my chest. I was so stressed out. I still am stressed out. It's hot as well, so being hot and stressed out is not great. I feel sick, I feel dizzy, I feel panicky, I feel scared. I'm probably not going to sleep. So I know I was a bit like all over the place in the last video, and I did say it was a sergeant. I was told it's a sergeant, but I have since been told, and that's why it says in the box, it's an inspector. Now this inspector's never had anything to do with me at all. It's just come out of nowhere. I mean, probably was the cleaner last week and this week he's the inspector. Who knows? Yes, I'm not happy. So basically my life has been put at risk for the last 2 weeks because, as far as I've been aware, my panic alarm has been switched on, and if anything happens I can press my panic alarm. So having the panic alarm actually helps me. It makes me less anxious and less nervous, because if something's happening, I mean, there's been times when I should have used it and I haven't, but I've been of the mind frame for the last however months that if something happens I will press it, and I did press it not too long ago, and the police came rushing round and they acted like I'd done something. They let the person go, didn't ask me if I wanted to press charges or if I was hurt when I was clearly was hurt, and they all just disappeared. In fact, one of the officers, which I said in the bottom of the last one where I wrote something, she was outside taking the mick out of me before she actually come in the house. I have CCTV. And we could hear her inside what she was saying about me at the door. She reckoned she'd met me before, and she definitely hadn't. I remember every police officer because there's some that have been nice to me and some, for some reason, aren't nice to me, and I'm always very nice. Don't have a criminal record, so don't know why they come with this preconceived wrong idea about me. And I know what they say about me, but it's all a load of rubbish. So I did contact my solicitor, who advised me. Obviously I tell my solicitor everything, and the police don't like that because they don't like you knowing legally what your rights are. They like to just rush at you so you don't know what's going on. And I rang 101 and I gave up the first time I rung because I was on hold for like 15 minutes and I was stressed out and my heart was racing. I thought I was going to collapse. I was literally sat on my bed, my chest had gone tight, my arm was killing me, like my left arm. Even had pain in my other arm. I could feel my heart racing. I was so panicked. Because it's not a nice feeling. Because ironically, I think it was last week, it sounded like someone had come into my house when I was upstairs in bed. And I was like, oh God, I've got to press the panic alarm. And obviously I had the handset with me and I was ready to press it. And if I would have pressed it, I would have been under the illusion, it's okay, the police will turn up in a few minutes. So I would have pressed it if there was someone in the house, and then, you know, thought, well, they'll be here soon, and they wouldn't have ever turned up because some inspector called Mark Saunders has asked for it to be turned off. So I've had this panic alarm for 4 years, and it's helped me the last couple of years, especially at the beginning. Oh God, at the beginning I was still stressed out with having it, but I did feel safe in a weird way, but I didn't set it off when I should have set it off. But that's all to do with what the police were doing as well. Yeah, I don't feel safe at all. I have contacted various people, but anyway, I did eventually go back onto 101, and I was sat in my room at the time. Obviously I'm not in there now, and it was so humid, and I was trying to not drink because I get paranoid that someone's going to answer the phone when I'm swallowing and I'm going to try to talk as I'm swallowing, and it's all going to go all horrifically wrong. But because I was trying to drink a little bit whilst I was waiting, because I was drinking Diet Coke, I was trying to drink it quickly, so I ended up burping really loudly. And I'm sure on 101, even when you're on hold, it's recording. So I did this massive burp, started laughing, and I went, I know you're probably recording this, because I think they do. I'm sure someone told me they record. And also it's making this noise, so I'm pretty sure it is being recorded. So if you want to listen back to me burping, you know, there you go. So eventually, I think I was on hold for about 25 minutes. And I don't know if anyone else is like me, but I sometimes consider hanging up. And I think I stopped considering that after about 15 minutes, because I thought, knowing my luck, I'm probably next in the list and I'll hang up. But it was 25 minutes. So I spoke to this woman, and I gave her my name and everything. Then it probably came out with a pack of lies about me, because I'm sure they've put something on there, because everyone seems to get told something about me and it changes the way they behave about me. And she was like, there's nothing on there about it being taken out. It's saying that you've got a panic alarm and that it's active. And I was like, oh, but this man said that it was switched off on the 31st of July. And she's like, who was he? And I said he never gave his name. He just said he was from the alarm company that has the police alarm. I said that he never said the company name. And he kept telling me that he had to come round, and he was 13 minutes away. I mean, I don't know how he knew he was 13 minutes away. And I said to him, like, I don't want you to come round. And he was like, oh, but I want to talk to you. And I was like, I'm talking to you on the phone. Because I didn't know why he needed to be at my house to talk to me. Obviously, I don't want anyone here. So I was like, I don't want you here. I don't understand why the police have done this. They've not contacted me. And he was like, oh, I've heard of them not doing that a few times. They don't always tell you. And I'm like, but why would they just take something off me that I've had for 4 years that's helped me? It's just another tactic of theirs, isn't it? I mean, I've done nothing wrong. I've never been in trouble. I don't go around breaking the law. I'm pretty much in the house all the time, so obviously I'm not breaking any laws being in the house. I'm always polite to them. I always answer questions that really they shouldn't even be asking me, because unless you're under suspicion for something, the questions they've asked me over the years, they shouldn't be asking me. And they know, because I've got a solicitor, they can't get away with a lot of the questions that they do ask me. And when I refuse to ask them, they think I'm being awkward, but they're asking really personal questions when I'm not under suspicion of anything. But there you go. Basically, they should tell me. I mean, everyone I've spoken to were like, they should warn you, because like I've just said, I was under the delusion last week. I had a panic alarm that was working in the house. And when I thought someone was in the house, I thought, right, I could press the panic alarm. At least if there is someone in the house, at least the police are going to be here really quickly. So the police have put me in danger, because I wouldn't ring 999, because I'm under the false illusion by the police that I'm safe and nothing's going to happen because I've got this panic alarm. So it would be just like an alarm company turning your alarm off and not telling you, and then you thinking, oh, I've got this alarm, because you can have panic alarms put in yourself. So you might think, oh, there's someone in the house, and press the panic alarm, and if it don't work, then they can get sued. So, you know, if they can get sued, the police can get sued. I'm sick of being treated differently from everyone else. When I ring up, I want to be treated like everyone else, but I don't. Things happen and I ring up and they treat me like I've murdered someone. They don't do anything about what the other people have done. They don't even take notice. They don't even want to know the whole story, because for some reason they don't want to help me, and I think that's unfair. I've talked about this in the past. You know, people are getting away with things are being half investigated, things are not being fully investigated. I'm never being updated about things. They're not coming back to me for more information, which is standard procedure, because if I say something and someone else says something else, they should come back to you and ask you again or get you to clarify something. But that hasn't happened. I've been stalked by them. There was a fake police officer called Paul Murphy who was totally abusive towards me, rung me up, was abusive towards me. He was stalking me. There was a police car stalking me at one point a couple of years ago. Got evidence of that. I know what you were doing. I'm not stupid. You actually caused me to almost have a meltdown because of that. Like, it's ridiculous what has gone on. And now they've done something else which they know it's going to cause me mental distress. Are they trying to push me to do something? Is that the only way I'll keep quiet, if like you push me and push me and push me until you can't push me anymore? I mean, kick me while I'm down, why don't you? Because that's what seems to happen. I tell you what, someone could come into my house now, viciously attack me. It could all get caught on CCTV, and I could ring the police up, and the police probably wouldn't even send anyone until I'd said, oh, I've told my solicitor. Then they'll send someone because they know my solicitor knows that they have to send someone. Then the officer who will come won't even want to know 90% what's happened, and the little bit that they'll let me tell them, they probably won't even write most of that down. Then they probably, even if I gave them CCTV footage, told them where the person lived, told them who they were, probably wouldn't even bother to go around. They'd probably say there's not enough evidence, and that'd be it. That's what it's like. That is how it is like. I've had things ignored for years. I've had people get away with practically murder. I've had all sorts of this stuff going on, yet no one ever helps me. And don't even get me started on the IPIOSC, whatever they're called, IPC or IPOC, IOPC. Is the police policing the police? So of course they're not going to ever get found guilty of anything. Every now and then they have to make an example of a police officer, because sometimes it's so like the crime is just so bad that if they didn't make an example, then, you know, whole hell would break loose, really, wouldn't it? But check out Crime Bodge on here, you'll see exactly what goes on. Like there's one recently where there's these two officers who were driving along, almost run this young lad over and give him this lecture. And when the parents contacted the police, the sergeant was like, oh, I've done nothing wrong. Then it ends up on this Crime Bodge channel, check it out. And all of a sudden it's being investigated by the IOPC, whatever. Although it'll get found in their favour, because that's what typically happens. But it's wrong. The police police the police. Someone else should be policing the police, because it'd be like bloody burglars bloody policing themselves. Oh, you burglared it, oh well done, don't matter, carry on. It's just the same thing. It's not fair how I'm being treated. I am so stressed out. My heart is like, I'm sure my heart's going to come out my chest, because I'm so stressed out about it. They're actually affecting my health physically and mentally yet again. How fair is that? So yeah, it is turned off. I have checked, because the box that I've got has got like a window on it, what normally has things written on it, and the thing that's normally written on it isn't on it. It says ready to use, which means basically it's got no signal or anything going to it. So they have turned it off. They are causing me mental distress. They haven't phoned me. I've got my call log on my phone for this entire year, because I never delete it, so that proves they've never tried to contact me. Also, they're meant to contact my solicitor and pass messages via him. They've not contacted him, so yet again they've put me in danger, because I was under the false impression that I was okay because I've got this panic alarm. So if someone would have come in, I would have pressed it and the police wouldn't have turned up, and I could have been murdered. But then again, they wouldn't even bother to turn up. They'd probably go for a bloody bacon butty, wouldn't they? That's exactly how it is. I've got nothing to lose. You've took it all away from me anyway. You've put me in positions I should never have been in. You've not helped me. You've took my panic alarm off me. You've took my panic alarm off me. You've took my panic alarm off me. You have took my panic alarm off me. You have put me in danger. So what should I do? Should I go mix some strangers and put myself in some danger as well? Because, you know, the police do it for me, so why don't I go and do it myself? Anyone want to come and meet me? My address is... Come round. I'm going to unlock the door. Anyone who wants to come in my house, come in my house. Because even if I ring the police, here's a tip for you. I could ring the police 20 billion times and they wouldn't attend. So come and murder me. Come and make my day and murder me so I don't have to put up with this anymore. Thank you and good night. P.S. I'm not going to kill myself because I've just told everyone my address. So I'm not going to do anything to myself. I'm just going to leave my front door unlocked. Please come in. Do whatever you want. The police won't do anything.